Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Lulu Story podcast where style meets soul. A place to inspire you on your journey of becoming and self expression. Through conversations with inspiring women, we will uncover what it is to truly show up as ourselves and the tricks and tips to building a wardrobe, style, and life we love so that we can feel at peace in our skin, be visible, and thrive as ourselves. And on today's episode, I'm very excited to welcome Faye. Thank you
Mm.
so much for coming on, Faye.
Hi, Lulu. Thanks so much for inviting me. I'm so thrilled to be here. And let's see what questions you ask me. I'm excited.
You on the spot here. You're so wonderful. I mean, Faye, I think you're going to get the prize. Doesn't matter how long I would do this podcast for the most colorful, beautiful background. You are
Uh,
surrounded by your art, aren't you?
I am. I'm in my studio here, which is at the back of my garden. It's very messy. So I'm only showing you one wall and not the floor or anywhere else because it's a tip in here. But yeah, my very happy place where the magic happens.
And I'm so looking forward today to kind of diving into your journey with creativity and self expression. The podcast kind of comes from a fashion style background, but actually, a big part of what I do with people is to help them tap into their creativity, their expression, and art. And our relationship with art is often where I begin with a lot of my clients.
Oh, that's so lovely.
And your art is hanging on my wall and is actually where it has helped me so much in helping me define myself and my style. So it felt
Oh.
like such a beautiful full circle moment to get you on the podcast.
That's so wonderful to hear because really I'm with my paintings for such a short amount of time, really. And then they sit on other people's walls for such long. And I get this all the time. Like I look at your painting all the time. It inspires me. It changes throughout the day.
Mm.
And it's so lovely to get some feedback because often as artists, once the paintings goes, you get to hear how it influences someone's life. So that's wonderful.
It is. And I remember it was, I think we were coming out of lockdown
I
and
think I did, like, open houses and it was lockdown. I was doing it like this online or
yeah,
something.
you were. And
Yeah.
I was sat in my co-working space at the time, and I remember you showing me all these
Yeah,
pieces, and there was one that came out and it just, like, hit me in the face. It was like, "That's
yeah.
my piece of art.
That's the one.
That is the
I
one." It
mean,
had neon through it and really
it's amazing how we adapted in those times,
it
wasn't
is.
it?
It
I mean,
really
now
is.
I just do open houses and people are all in my house and come to my studio, but at the time, trying to show these paintings, some of them are massive, some of them are tiny, trying to do that across a screen. I mean, it was amazing how it worked, and I spoke to people all around the world, it kind of opened it up a bit.
It was. Well, it's brought me so much joy. And when I work with
Oh,
people at the beginning, I always ask them to choose a favorite object or painting. And, I think what's so fascinating about art is how, if we were all to step into your space and into your work, we would all be drawn to a different item. And that kind of individual, that personal connection with art is amazing. I mean, do you see that when clients come in? It's a very
yeah.
emotive.
Oh, absolutely, and kinda like you do wanna be a bit Marmite, you don't want everyone to love you. I
Yeah.
quite like it. Sometimes people come in and they walk straight out straight away, and you're like, "That's cool," I can't be for everyone. Another time I've had people walk in and burst into tears, they love it so much, and then I'm crying because I spend so much time on my own, and then I get exposed to people, and I'm an emotional I'm like, God, they love my work so much, they're crying. And other people are very much drawn to the landscapes. Other people only like the florals. Some
Mm.
people bought both. So it's really interesting. They all love colour and they all want something to be uplifting and positive and joyous and championing everything. So that's what I really want for my work is you look at it and you just feel a sense of uplifting.
Yeah, you definitely bring that. So tell me, I want to go back. Do you always, if I met you at say 7, 8, would you have been a creative child then? Has it always just been a big part of your life?
Yeah, absolutely. So I remember joining junior school, the very first lesson. Mrs. Moyler, thank you very much. And she set up a still life. and we all drew it or painted it or something. And at the end of it, she held mine up and said, "We've had a new artist join the class." And so that was it really. I've never really kind of gone off track. And yeah, it's been, I'm so lucky to have had so many wonderful teachers and champions throughout the year. Throughout my life, I couldn't do it without them.
That is incredible. And were you in a creative family? Was it part of the kind of the vernacular and
Really? No, my father was a dustman. My mum, there's definitely some creative juices going on there, but of course, she never had the opportunity to do it. She, went off and did like being a receptionist. So, um, apparently, I had this great grandfather who did go off and paint. But when he died, apparently the family burnt everything of his because they couldn't separate. So how awful is that? So I think there might be something out there, but no, my immediate family, I am the artist. Everybody else just thinks, oh, there she is doing her thing.
and what point of your journey being an artist did you really start to kind of feel like you knew your style? I mean, your style since I've known you over the last kind of 5, 6 years has evolved. So I'm sure
Yeah,
it's if anything, it continues to evolve. But was there a particular moment where you really felt
I
like found
yeah,
yourself?
it was probably about what year is my son in now? I have to have to do. So I went to art school. I then worked in a gallery for quite a long time, and I was painting then and selling the work. And then I got to the point people are just asking me, "Can you do something to go with my curtains?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm not doing that." So I left. I ran a pottery, and then I had some babies. They got in the way for a bit, and then I said to myself, I knew all that time I was just being a mum, and I loved every moment of it. I knew I would go back to painting. And I
Mm.
was waiting for my son to start reception. I was like, as soon as he started reception, I was like, right, that's it. I'm going to experiment and play. And, I was really lucky. I'd had that fine art background. I'd been to university, studied fine art, but now it felt like a sense of freedom. I could paint whatever I wanted. I didn't have to answer anyone. I didn't have to write any essays on anything. I could just paint. And so it took me a good 18 months to sort of find my mojo, and yeah, no, I think, of course, I'm inspired by Sussex because it's so beautiful here. And
And did you
yeah,
grow up
so
around here? So has it always been in your
no, I am from, wait for it, the glamour, Watford. So you don't go there. Actually, Harry Potter World's there
I yeah, I've
as
just
well.
been to Harry Potter World, it was
Right.
great.
So yeah, I'm from Watford, which is very good for commuting out of. And I'm still a Watford fan, so you do get a little bit of yellow on my. I wear a little bit of yellow occasionally, but yeah, when I see yellow, it always reminds me
Does
of
it?
home. It's weird because my dad was a lottery ticket seller at the football as well, so we used to, yeah, it's in my. I was born next to what football club actually. Yeah.
So do you feel like colours have got that relationship for you? Like, if you were to see, like, I don't know, a neon orange, or do you have
Yeah, some of them are definitely, there's some colours that, are just, remind me of certain people sometimes. Like, colour combinations do. Or like I'll see something and think, oh, that's so and so. Or but yellow is, I've talked about it before. Yellow is a colour, that keeps cropping up in my life. I don't know why. Because I don't really paint much yellow, but there's always a little bit in there.
when you were talking about that moment where you start to kind of step into your style and really understand what you're painting, how to express yourself, and your son was at school. What
Yeah.
was do you remember the piece of art that you did that kind of made you go, this is
There
me?
was actually one called Where the Magic Happens,
Oh, really?
which was I had this wonderful opportunity. I just couldn't believe it that Glyndebourne gave me a solo show, and it was a piece for them. And it was just so, I feel like it was such a strong I should have bloody kept the painting, but it's gone. I don't know where. And I just think, yeah, that is when that confidence came in, not being tentative with my line. And just, feeling that confidence in my arm and brushwork. So yeah, where the magic happens, I would say, is the painting that really I was like, that's a good one.
And was it Was there it sounds like there was almost a feeling connected with it that was it
Yeah,
like you said, a
yeah. Well, I did this
freedom?
whole collection, and I think it just went so well. There was that painting, the curator was amazing and
Mm.
supportive and and wrote this amazing piece about me, and I was like, "Oh, wow, that sounds professional." And then the whole collection sold out in, like, 24 hours, so
Wow,
that was just really the moment for me. It was, like, crazy. Like, amazing climb born. It's
that
amazing.
is incredible.
Fabulous.
Did you kind of, when you were younger, look at other artists and kind of crave, I don't know, success? Or I always think that being any sort of creative and putting yourself out there in the world can be quite a vulnerable thing to do. You know, it can be hard to become good at the business side of things. You know, how did you find that journey? Because you've had so much success over the last few years. I mean, not to mention currently you are down the King's Road, hanging
Yeah,
on
down
the
Sloane Street.
Sloane's.
Sloane
I mean,
Street.
it's just incredible what
And
success.
that is other people discovering me and having faith in my work, honestly. I don't go and find these things, they come to me. The universe, sends in an email and I have to go, "Is this one real?" Get on the phone and it is. What was the question? Sorry, I was just routing off.
When you were younger and you were looking at
Oh,
people
yeah,
who were
looking at
artists, was that something that you were craving and questioned whether it be available for you, or how did you find
I
that
didn't ever
journey?
question not being an artist. That's never crossed my mind because I honestly couldn't do anything else. I'm pretty severely dyslexic, so anything that would require writing or people reading my emails, oh my God, just that would just be so horrendous. I'd do so many mistakes. So if I can communicate through paintings, that's so
Yeah.
much better for me. And yeah, I'm you're doing it as a business, I am commercial. And so there is an artist called Alice Sheridan who has helped me with that. And I've probably been in it about 10 years now. I'll have to ask her. She'll know how long. She had this group called Connected Artists, and it wasn't so much talking about painting, it was more talking about the business side, like you get your website set up, have a logo, get your Instagram, they all have to look the same. You don't necessarily immediately think like that, but I do now. Yeah, my mind is like my Instagram, it's Faye Bridgwater artist. I'm not posting my kids on there or
Yeah.
I might do some holiday snaps, but the kids wouldn't be in them. And I probably would do it after the event. I might in my stories mention a bit
Yeah.
about my day, but I'm not really you don't Faye Bridgewater the artist, I'd say.
And taking yourself seriously as that artist as well, by the sounds of things.
Yeah, I always say, and I've got it in my phone, and I've said this many times, you've got to be your own champion. Nobody else is going to champion you. You've got to, you know, get on there, even when you don't want to post something on Instagram or send that email or update the website. It's boring, isn't it, when you just want to paint pictures, but nobody else is going to do it. You have to pretend you are like, I don't know, Nike or something. They just expect marketing team to get on with it, wouldn't they? So you just have to divide yourself up into the marketing and the painter, and it's really important to do that. And then you're telling your own story. You can be 100% genuine. You don't have to, you know, have someone else telling your story.
It's so true, and it is hard. I think it doesn't matter what kind of creative we are, but we have to take that seriously. And I get that from you. I can it kind of builds trust in people, and I think that that trust in this is somebody who knows their thing and knows their experience, and you can feel that from you. You have got such passion and such experience that go hand in hand, and so much joy. Like,
I do live my whole life like I'm in a yoga club. I'm going to be in a restorative yoga class, and I'm painting a picture in my head, or I'm in the bath and I'm thinking about how that painting could go. I dream about it, So and then I'm on my phone all the time taking photos, hundreds, millions of photos.
Mhm.
So I'm always looking. Oh, that's a nice contrast. I like those colours together, And so
Mhm.
it's continuous. I
Yeah.
can't if I go for a walk with anyone, it's a bloody nightmare because 'cause I'm like, "Oh, look at that." Duh, duh," and, I'm noticing little details and then the bigger picture and, so the head is continuously.
What's currently buzzing around your head at the moment? What is currently inspiring your creativity?
So, of course, we're gonna get these lovely autumn sunsets. We had a lovely one last night. Did you see it?
Mm.
Oh, it was
I did.
magic. So, autumn sunsets are always the best. We've got the murmurations coming back to Brighton. They will be dancing their beautiful dance between the piers. So, I love autumn. I just love it. It's such a fantastic. I love September. I just bloody love September. That back to school feeling when you like get your new pencil case and you're ready to go. I love this time of year so much.
Well, I need to take your inspiration because I struggle this time of year. I am like, "Don't take the summer from me. Don't
No, I
take
love
the
it.
summer back."
I absolutely love it. I'm like, "Oh, great, here it comes." Yeah, I absolutely love this between September and, like, January, fantastic. Just got this great energy to it.
Oh, Faye, I need to
For
hang
me.
out with you
You're
more.
the opposite. You're like, "I want my swimsuit on the
Yeah,
beach."
exactly.
I'm like, "Oh, I love it. I love an autumn walk on the beach. Nobody else is there, and I can just go down onto the beach and have a walk and enjoy the sound of the sea and not any rubbish on the beach, everyone's gone. It's great."
You get your Brighton back.
Yeah, yeah.
So I want to know if people are out there and they're thinking, for me, like my relationship with creativity has been a very interesting one. I never thought of myself as a creative until I had my daughter. And I actually read Elizabeth Gilbert's book, Big
Oh,
Magic.
yeah. Yeah,
And it
yeah.
made me realize, even though I was a stylist, that I was a creative. I'd never
Yeah.
owned that identity. And for me, my journey of the last decade has been leaning into that creativity more. Have you got any advice for somebody that maybe has, and I might be asking for myself here, an itch to start painting or an itch to kind of like explore their creativity and express themselves in new ways? Where would they begin or what could they do?
It's funny you say that because always say to everyone, everything you do is creative. The way you put your food on the plate, yeah, that's creative. Some people, just throw it on the plate, and other people place it beautifully. And, that's creative. The way you do your garden, the way you've done your hair, the way you do your net. I think everything, and the way you decorate your house, absolutely everything is creative. You're curating your life, aren't you? So it is creatives. For me, I would say start looking. Get your camera out. We've all got a camera in our pockets. Start
Hmm.
looking. You see the shadows on the wall, and a bit like today out there, the shadows are fantastic. Go out there, take pictures, and also just you have to set aside time because if you don't, it's never going to happen. Or a corner, that your sketchbook's always open in, or I'm really lucky. I've got this shed now, whereas beforehand, it's much trickier. So if you have a dedicated little space, or I've got a little notebook in my handbag,
Yeah.
and that's got notes in it, which are creative sparks, but also little quick sketches. Really quick, like 10 seconds.
Mm.
So I do, for me, I also suggest, of course, I'm going to do a bit of promotion here, but I do a thing called November Squares.
Mhm.
Here I am.
Tell us about
And
it.
this is a sketch square, and I've made this for artists to get going and get their ideas flowing. So you use this stencil in your A4 sketchbook, or you could do it bigger. Draw the squares, and you can just start those creative juices flowing. So in November, I give a prompt every day, but I say to people, you can either that creative prompt could be what I do, or it
Mhm.
could be whatever you want. And it's like just making time, 10 minutes. Just otherwise you're never gonna do it. Even if it's just like making something up, like I'm gonna bring out a range of wrap dresses and just designing them. Might never do it, but it's just getting
Yeah.
that ideas going. So I've got so many ideas, it's a bloody nightmare.
Well, this is the thing. I never struggle with ideas, especially when it comes to like the business. But I think what's interesting is my relationship with creativity outside of work isn't quite there, and that's what I want to
I
explore.
haven't got time, we're all parents, they take up a lot of time, and unless book a course. I love booking courses. The
Yeah.
last course I did was like a Chinese calligraphy class,
Mm.
and that was
Sounds.
so lovely. It was just 6 weeks, and I learnt to hold the brush differently and do. So, make yourself book something in and then, you paid some money, you have to do it.
Have to turn up.
Like gym membership.
So obviously this is a style
Oh,
podcast.
yeah, here we go.
Let's let's talk about a little bit about your relationship with clothing. When you were going back to that little Faye going to school, what was your relationship like with dressing when you were young?
Well, that's really interesting. We were very, very poor. We didn't have money at all. So, probably when I was really little, I didn't even know about clothes. My dad used to, who was a dustman, used to get bags of clothes that had been thrown away, and we'd all go through them and choose what we wanted. I mean, really, we had no choice. It was
Yeah.
just like, I mean, you couldn't imagine that now, could you? It's just
Mhm.
such a different world. But really, we didn't have money for clothes or anything. So, I remember someone's parents going to France and bringing me back a Naf T-shirt.
Oh
I
yeah,
just
I
loved
loved
buying
Naf Naf.
that so
Yeah.
much. So like, oh my God, I really wanted that. And then the real piece that I really wanted when I was a teenager, I really wanted some DMs. And we went to Camden Market for my 13th birthday, got the pair of DMs, and I've ever since
Ever
because
since.
they're the best, absolute best shoes, and sometimes take a bit of wearing in. But yeah, Dr. Martens. I was a kid of the '90s. It was all
Mhm.
grunge. That was handy because we could just go to jumble sales. So lots of
Mhm.
jumble sales. Um,
And
Quite a
what's
lot of
your
band t-shirts when I was
yeah?
younger as
What's your
well.
favorite piece, a pair of DMs that you either still own or have had? Was it those first pair, or is there
I mean,
been?
the first pair were pretty special because I
Mhm.
remember once they got quite old, I then painted like some things on them, like painted some things. But still wearing DMs now. I mean, I've got a pair of DMs that I basically wear every day. If I'm not in DMs, I'm in Birkenstocks. It's one or the other. Like flat, keep it flat, no heel, no thank you. So yeah, I've had many. I had a lovely pair of Mary Jane ones when I
Yeah,
was young. Those. I've had some lovely the red one, what's it called? Like, the burgundy ones. They've got a
yeah. Oh, the
name.
cherry kind of color.
Yeah, so yeah, and just always enjoyed buying a pair of Dr. I mean, they're bloody so expensive now, but I still,
They
you know,
last. They really
yeah.
last. Have you tried their sandals? Because they're very comfortable.
Well, I haven't because 'cause I'm so Birkenstock, so, I've got, like, these weird rules in my head, so, yeah, the Birkenstock's so comfortable. You will be horrified, I've got a pair on with some socks now.
Oh no, I love a sock and a sandal. I love a sock. Do you find that because your creativity goes into your art so much, do you find, so many designers and artists, are kind of in the same clothing day in, day out so that the creativity can shine onto the
Yeah.
canvas? Is that true for you?
So, yeah, about 10 years ago, I said to myself, "This is it. I'm only wearing black from now on. I've had enough of thinking about clothes." I kinda need a uniform, really, and when I paint, I will wear the same clothes for a whole week, so I don't just have to think about it, and my whole wardrobe's black. There's no colour in it at all. You'd be oh my goodness, you should come around. You'd be so horrified. I think I've got one green dress, and
Mhm.
then I've got a little bit of colour comes in a hat or a scarf occasionally.
Yeah.
So, but as soon as I put any colour on, I feel like a children's entertainer.
So
Is
maybe
that
it's
mad?
yeah, well, it's interesting. Maybe it's because the colors you use have got such high saturation that
Yeah.
potentially it's looking at colors that that don't speak in the same way as your art does. Maybe it's there's a
Especially if I'm at an exhibition, I'd be in all black. I want people looking at the paintings. I don't want them looking at what I'm wearing. I'm
Mhm.
like, I'm neat and tidy. I'm here, but I want your focus on the paintings, not on me. So yeah, don't look at me.
Look at the work. Look at the work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What
So
about what about art you love? Like, are you somebody that is your art on the walls, or do you buy other artists' work?
So I do but I buy a lot of ceramics actually. I love
Okay.
ceramics. My house is need to stop buying the ceramics, but I do love them. And my house never used to have my artwork on the wall. Now, because I do open houses, it's
Yeah.
like a gallery to Faye Bridgwater, and I feel like I'm some sort of narcissist every time someone. thin, but only because it is like storage
Yeah.
being on my wall. And so, like, probably would have other artists on my wall, but it's there because it's practical, and I open my house 2 times a year, so to take it
Mhm.
all down and to put it back up. So there is a lot of my, and there's the kids' work. That's the stuff that I really love, you
And are
know,
they
I'd rather.
creative?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Both of them are, you know, and I encourage it 100%. I'm like, just do what you love. Go for what you love, you know. Don't worry, but they get really cross with me when I say, "Oh, don't worry about the other exams. Just do the ones you love." That's not the right thing to say. Okay.
Thanks, Mum.
So, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
well, I bet
so
it's such a joyful place to be in your house, though. I wanna ask my final question is a little bit about your process when it comes
oh, yeah.
to creating your work of art. Is it the same for every piece? Like, you've obviously said about your sketchbooks and your ideas, do you build up your paintings? Do you do it bit by bit on the canvas? How does it work?
So, always start with my, as I said, get your camera out. We're so lucky. It's such a brilliant tool. It's like a sketchbook. And the wonderful thing, I don't know if you've got an iPhone, but say if you want to paint flowers, there's such a great tool on your iPhone, on your photos. You can just type in flowers, and every single photo you've ever taken of a
Yeah.
flower will come up.
Mhm.
And I have taken thousands flowers, so I can just, and I can even go down to red flower, you know, white flower. It's amazing. Or if I'm wanting to do Sussex, I'll go to, you know, Hope Gap, or, you know, I can pull up those images really quickly. So fill my eyes up with all those images of what I'm going to paint. And then I don't look at them anymore, because I still want that sort of instinctive process of it being a painting. I don't want it to be a photograph of Hope Gap. I want it to be more of a feeling, more instinctive.
Mhm.
So then I start layering up. So I always work on a full collection of paintings in one go. And some will get more time, some will get less time, and I on each day, and I build the colours. I go round the rainbow to begin with. The first layer, Richard of York gave Battle in Vain, so I do all of those colours quite quick, trying to get that ground
Mm.
colour on, and then that feeling of the brush on the canvas is such a joy. It just builds and builds and builds, and then it's quite loose, and then it gets tighter. Each time I go round, it gets tighter and tighter, and one might lean more towards green, one more towards blue, one more towards pink, and you can sort of see their different personalities coming out. So they're all related to
Wow.
each
And how
other.
many how many paintings are in a series? Is it always the same?
At the moment, I'm working on landscapes, so there will be some florals as well, but I'm just doing landscapes at the moment. So the great thing with working on all of them at the same time is that they don't all end up in the collection. So if one's going particularly awfully, it can go, I don't have to think, oh no, I must do this painting. It can go to one side, I'll white over it and can start again. So hopefully there'll be around 17 to 20 paintings, but some of them are like, teeny tiny, you know, like little tiny
Right.
squares. I was gonna try and find a canvas. So these are really early days. These canvases, I mean, this is so early days.
Oh,
That's like right at the
wow.
beginning. So that's right at the
I kinda
beginning.
love
So
it just
that's
like that.
just a little, yeah, I know, they look great like that, don't they? So that's 20 by 20 centimeters. And then I've got a meter by or 120 by 1 meter, you know. So I love having the different scale and sizes. You almost have like daddy, mummy, you know, cousins, got the whole family.
Do you remember the other one that we bought? So we had
Yeah,
the little
yeah.
sketches as well, which I just
Yeah,
love.
yeah. I mean, that is just, and I really recommend people to do that with the sketch squares and just get colours on. Just
Yeah.
play. Just go, right, I'm
Mhm.
going to get the sketch squares, draw the things out. I'm going to do, just like I said, Richard of York gave back, do red line in each one, a blue line in each one. Go quick, really quick. Do not think about it too much. And certain ones will stand out and you go, that one looks bloody great. I could upscale that to a bigger painting.
Alright, I'm gonna give it a go, Faye. I
Do
appreciate
it.
that, and I think that the thing I always, when I work with people, is that people have more creativity within them than they give themselves credit for. So I think that that gives us a really good way to start. And we often need a way to just unwind from our lives that isn't just going to the pub or isn't just in front of the television. So I think, leaning into that and our creativity is such a wonderful place to kind of to
You're
go.
on the train a lot, that is a great place, that really
Okay.
sparks my ideas when I'm on. I love that idea, that feeling of moving forward, and I'm
Mhm.
sketching and drawing, I love if you're on the train, just say, "Right, not allowed to look at my phone." Bet you love a look at your phone on the train, but get your sketchbook out and just draw what's out the window.
Yeah, amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on today, Faye. It inspires me all the time. It really helped me develop. Your painting made me, because I do these style words, and my style words are cool, elegant, and impactful. And because your painting is one of my favorite things that I own, I say to myself, is that painting cool, elegant, and impactful? And I'm like,
Yeah,
it damn is. So
it
it
gets
helps
all of
me.
those ticks.
It does. I love it so much. Where can people find you?
It's Faye with an E, Faye, and
Mhm.
then it's Bridgwater without an E. And on Instagram, I'm Faye_Bridgwater, or my website is www.faybridgewater.com.
Thank you
Thank you
so much for
so
coming.
much.
My pleasure. All right. Thank you so much for watching or listening to the Lulu Story podcast. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on future episodes. And do let me know in the comments who you'd like to hear or see from next. I'm always open to people that can inspire our journey of becoming great women, fulfilling our potential, and feeling at peace in our skin.